Hey guys, welcome to the extended release version of the Capsule Production Podcast. My guest today owns his own retail pharmacy as well as a compounding pharmacy, and we're going to get to know a little bit about some of his inventions as well as his unique delivery cars. My guest today is Dr. Alan Deaver of Taylor's Pharmacy. Please give it up. With the extended release podcast, I want to give you guys a little bit of color and a little bit of background about Dr. Deaver. So, how's it going?
Good, Brandon. Doing well. Thanks.
So you were recommended by my buddy Jeff, and he really just painted you as like a Renaissance man. He told me you're an inventor, a car enthusiast, a business owner, just all sorts of things. So can you tell me a little bit about some of that stuff? He mentioned like a dolphin tail that you created.
Yeah, well, if he means Renaissance man that I'm old, he's right. I do feel that way. And then Jeff's probably right. Well, a lot of it was driven out of necessity. We do a lot of work with computers because we didn't have the time or the money to pay somebody else to write our programs that we use around here. So we had to do that. A lot of it was out of necessity. Some of it was just fun and on the side. We play around with a lot of cars because I saw in a talk that was given by an independent pharmacist while I was in pharmacy school. He had a slideshow showing all the cool delivery cars that he had. And I thought, this is something I want to do when I own a business. So we have cool delivery cars. It's something we've been playing around with for years. But so there's a lot of this stuff we've done that was out of necessity, but we've been able to have some fun with it along the way. So so it kind of breaks up the boredom if you can make a game out of some of it. We did invent at the request of one of our customers, we did develop a inhaler for the dolphins that we sell pretty much all over the planet, which is really bizarre, but it's used to nebulize dolphins, and something that never been done before. Had been attempted, so we're kind of proud of that. We sell 2 or 3 of them a month to places like Dubai and Japan and to all over Florida and California and those things, and it's been a lot of fun. It's a good distraction.
That's really interesting. So how did that come about? Like, did someone reach out to you from like one of the aquariums or something, or?
Yeah, we met with some of the people from SeaWorld, and we had there was a new head veterinarian, and the veterinarian, I went through my regular sales spiel without stopping to breathe, and he stops me mid-sentence and says, well, what I really need is a dolphin inhaler to administer nebulizer treatments. And I said, well, I think I can do that. And he goes, well, it's never been done. I said, now I know I can do it. So we had a prototype to him within 36 hours that we built out of a habit trail from a vet store and an acrylic beer mug from Target and and a deconstructed ambu bag from a resuscitator bag, and kind of had a proof of concept. We checked it out, tested on some dolphins after one of the dolphin shows, and turned out the concept worked. And from there we went on to produce the production one, which we have produced for us by a company here in town, and it's fun. It's a whole new world to see a 700-pound dolphin on a metal table is an amazing thing, and we got to see all of that. So there were some lucky interns that got to go with us back in those days.
That's pretty cool. So did you make the whole thing yourself, or did you have to get some outside help to construct this thing? Or?
Well, we met with the veterinarians. They told us what they wanted, and then we had to figure out how to deliver the drug. So basically, we had to solve the problem of a dolphin inhaling and exhaling 5.3 liters in 0.3 seconds.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, enough to blow any device right off their head. And no one really knew what they would be like if you put something over their blowhole, because that'd be like someone squeezing your nose and pinching your air supply off. Turns out they didn't have a problem with it. And so we designed this thing to hold the drug in a rotating fog until the dolphins chose to inhale, and then we captured the inhalation portion of their breathing cycle, and were able to dose them with the drug. But we designed it, and I drew a full-scale mechanical drawing of it, took it down to a guy here in town who does boat parts, that they fabricate boat parts, and they were thrilled to death to work on it. So still are. They think it's the coolest thing they do.
That is really cool. Yeah, so how do you manage your time with that? So you're already running 2 businesses basically, and then you're also inventing stuff. I mean, what?
Well, that was years ago. We always have new cool stuff coming up. we just you work on those kinds of things when you can. If you're having employee problems or cash flow problems or inspection problems, those always take precedent over whatever you're doing. So the fun stuff gets pushed aside. So you work on it whenever you can.
I got you. Yeah, I've kind of run into that problem with this podcast. I got to focus on school, but I'm also trying to get interviews and edit and all that kind of stuff. So
it's hard to multitask.
It's tricky. So do you have any tips for inventors? So anyone that may have some ideas that are kind of outside what they're doing on the normal day-to-day basis?
Well, the thing I was amazed at is that no one had done this before. So you always think, if I thought of it, then 30 other people thought of it. Well, I found that not to necessarily be true. They may have thought that there was a need, but the other attempts at producing a working inhaler were pretty basic. And so when we came into it, we started with a clean slate and drew it fresh from not using any of the old ideas left over that people had tried in the past. So don't be scared of your ideas. Don't be scared to think big, and just let your mind fill in the gaps of exactly what is needed by the product or the device that you're designing, and then go back later and draw it out, figure out exactly what it's going to look like and all that. Don't get bound up in the details. Stay with the big picture until you get all that straightened out, and then draw a product or draw a device. Okay, that's good advice.
Mm-hmm. So going back to the cars, what kind of cars do you have delivering your drugs now?
Well, they're pretty boring now. We basically had we were known for our Scion XBs, the 2006 milk wagon looking things that we had.
Those little square ones?
The little square ones. And we had those for years. We still have a few of them, but we like the squared off cars. We've had hybrids, one of the first Honda hybrids that was out in 2006. I ran a diesel smart car 3 years before it was imported into the United States. That one caused people to wreck on the side of the road trying to see it. We've actually caused wrecks, people trying to see it. It was all over the news. No one had ever seen a smart car. So we've had old antique-looking cars. We've had trucks, all kinds of weird delivery vehicles. So it's been a lot of fun.
So does that is that more for you, or is that actually kind of help business or with recognition?
The smart car was amazing. It got more publicity than just about anything I'd ever done, because no one had ever seen one. I'll never forget, there was a brand new Lamborghini parked on Park Avenue where our retail location was, and the smart car was across the street. No one cared about the Lamborghini. They were clustered around the smart car. And of course we plastered our name all over the side of it so that everyone saw it. So anytime we do something strange with a delivery vehicle, we make sure we have our name all over it, make sure it gets to delivery. And apparently it's well known that we have unusual looking delivery vehicles, and we've had everyone from interns to radio stations mention it, to customers mention it. It's kind of what we're known for. So it's helped business. It was a good marketing move.
Oh, that's cool. And it's something you enjoy, so that's even better.
Yeah, it's fun. It makes it fun.
So you have anything in the works coming up? Any other cool ideas, inventions, products, or?
We've been just trying to consolidate now. Most of our stuff is we're trying some new things in our marketing to veterinarians and to hormone replacement for women and men, and we're working in that area.
Okay.
No cool inventions right now. We are looking at some more cool delivery cars, but we don't have no more inventions in the pipeline right now.
You gotta get a DeLorean. I think those are like the coolest. That'd be a cool delivery car.
Yeah, we have to find a road where we can get it up to 88 so we can make really fast deliveries. So.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. Dr. Deaver, I really appreciate you doing the podcast.
Thank you, Brandon.
And hopefully we'll have you on again.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Well, that wraps up the extended release version of the Capsule Production podcast. Thanks for listening. I'd like to give a big thanks to Dr. Deaver for being on the podcast. You can check his website out at taylorsfarmacy.com. I'll post a link on Facebook so you guys can check that out. If you guys are looking for a new pharmacy and you live in the Winter Park area, that'd be a great one to check out to get your prescriptions filled at. Even if you're a provider, he just updated his website so you can actually get up-to-date pricing for veterinary supplies. I also want to give a big thanks to my Capsule production team, Jeff, Amy, and Maher. Without them, I could not have done this podcast. If you guys want to reach out to me, feel free to. You can check us out on Facebook at Capsule Production Podcast. You can also email me at capsuleproduction1 with any comments, questions, or concerns, or anything you want to hear on the podcast. I'll try and make it happen for you. Lastly, I want to thank Sephiros for providing the music. This song is called Celestial, and you can find it on freestockmusic.com. Thanks for listening, and I will see you guys next week.